So I've got the track bars installed. I pulled the old ones out. Pretty simple unbolt and bolt in. I did screw the Johnny joint ends out and put a little more anti-seize on them. And I adjusted the track bars about 3/8 of an inch longer than the original. That's just kind of an educated guess where I think they're going to be. The rear one is super easy to adjust. It's got a right and left hand threads on both sides, so you can just leave the jam nut loose and turn it like a turnbuckle and dial it in. The final adjustment on this will have to be done when the vehicle's on the ground, sitting under its own weight on its tires at ride height, and you can measure over from the tires to the frame and center the axle. Let's go take a look at the front. Front, pretty much the same thing. It's only single adjustable, so if you do have to change the length on this one, the bolt will have to come out. It will have to be adjusted. The bolt will have to go back in. I still have a ratchet strap on here. I used the ratchet strap to pull the axle back over so I could get the bolt back in. And I also, went about 3/8 of an inch longer on this one, and we'll see how that works out. So I'm moving on to the control arms. I'm going to start with the rear and work my way up to the front. And when I'm doing the control arms, I will also do the Johnny joint ends on the housing. I was going to go over a little bit the differences and advantages to the Rock Chalk arms over the OEM arms. OEM arms have came a long ways. If you compared this arm to, like, say, a TJ stock arm, there's a lot more technology built into this arm than a TJ arm. It's two-piece design that's overlapped and welded, which is a lot stronger than like a TJ arm. A TJ arm is all stamped out of one piece. The bushings are a lot more advanced. They have knurling to keep them positioned in the same spot, so they kind of build up a memory, and they're just a lot more stouter than a TJ arm. So I'm not ragging on the OEM stuff. It's designed for ride quality and longevity, not so much performance. So the Rock Chalk arm, as far as the rears, are double adjustable, which is nice. You can fine tune your driveline angle, and on the front you can fine tune the caster angle. They have a polyurethane bushing in here that's like a ball and cup design, so this can not only turn in the bore once it's tightened, it can pivot, which makes your suspension cycle a lot more freely. The track bars are kind of similar. The rear track bar is just a piece of tube that's smashed and welded to some bushings, and the front is a bent out piece of tube that's kind of swedged with these cast ends, compared to the Rock Chalk ones, which have a bushing end on the front on one side and then a Johnny joint end on the other. And it's adjustable, so if you change the length, the height of the lift ever, you could adjust these and not have to rebuy any parts. So here's the right rear side, the passenger rear side. I've got the arms installed. I went ahead and made the rears, the lowers about a 1/2 inch longer and the uppers about 3/4 of an inch longer. Hopefully this is going to work out correctly, or how I think it is. If it doesn't, it's not that big a deal. They're double adjustable, so I don't have to take them off to adjust them. I'll just mark them, count the turns, and get the pinion angle dialed in. But I'm pretty confident it's going to work out the way I have it. And even if you're doing these not on a lift, the easiest way to do it is one arm at a time. And when you're changing, like the uppers are 3/4 of an inch longer, I have this kind of pogo stick lift here. I was pushing the pinion up to get the upper end, but you can do the same thing on the ground with the floor jack. I also had used this ratchet strap on the rear to pull the axle backwards to get the lower in. Do the same thing with the floor jack. You can kind of slide a bar in one of these mounts and twist the rear end up, or jack real close to the cover and twist the rear end up and get the same results. So you don't have to have a lift to do this. It's actually probably not that much easier to do it on a lift. It's just easier to see. The ground works very well to work on, and it allows you to twist things and stuff sometimes more easily than on a lift. So I'm going to get the other side on, and then I will move on to the front. So I have the rear done on the Mojave. Got all 4 arms in. I adjusted like I said earlier, I adjusted the lowers a 1/2 inch longer than stock. The uppers 3/4 of an inch. I'll let you guys know how that works out. It's kind of an educated guess, but I did that to correct for the lift and to give it a little better driveline angle for the rear. So I'm going to let you know how that works out. Probably going to reuse these sway bar end links on the anti-rock, the shorter ones that came with the Mojave kit. And this other side's done also. I've started on the front. So the front, I got the lowers on already, and super nice arms. Rock Jock kind of thought of everything on these. They got a bracket for the brake lines and ABS sensors. They're bent almost perfectly, match the OEM arms. On the length on these arms, I'm going to go with 1 inch lower on the lowers than stock, and 1/2 inch longer on the uppers. Reason being is I've always thought my particular truck here drives like it could use a little more caster. So I made the lowers 1 inch longer to give me a little more caster. Hopefully I don't have any driveline vibrations, but I'll let you know how that works out. Might have to fine tune that a little bit. So I've got both lowers replaced, and starting on the uppers. On the uppers, I've got the driver's side arm out here, and I've installed the new replacement bushing. I drove the factory bushing out and drove in the new Rock Jock bushing. Rock Jock has really got this nailed on this one. They really came through it. This tool works amazing. It's like a dual function tool. So it comes with an adapter. So you use just the regular tool to drive the bushing out. Actually, it drives out this way. Fits perfect. Goes right through the bushing hole, knocks it out, no problem. And then when you install it, you use this tool in conjunction with this adapter, and it drives the new bushing in perfectly. They suggest you take a few things apart on the front end. I actually had to take nothing apart except for the arm off. I did take this vent off because I didn't want to catch it and bend it. But I've kind of got this long bar lightly zip tied here to the coil. And Then I used the bar with the 2 tools that Rock Jock provided to drive the bushing in. No problem. I didn't have to take anything off except for the upper arm that I'm working on. So well thought out tool, works amazing. And I'm excited to see how much more travel this has. I'll show you guys after I got the whole front end buttoned up, and then we'll move on to the rear sway bar. Front end's all buttoned up. I got the upper control arms in. I went with a 1/2 inch longer than stock on those. And the rears went with 3/4 of an inch longer than stock to give me a little more caster. Got both of the Johnny joint ends in the housing. The passenger side drove in and out a little harder than the driver's side, and I think that's due to this side has more mass to back it up. This side does not have as much mass, so it's gonna bounce back a lot more. But went together real well. Very happy with it. I'm going to put the rear anti-rock on now, and maybe in a week or so I'll move on to this front anti-rock when I get the bumper in. But all's left to do is to tighten all the jam nuts, make sure the sway bar links have no load on them, that they're in a neutral position, and do the rear anti-rock like I said. Big thanks to Gear Wrench. They make all the magic happen around here. I use tons of Gear Wrench tools, Gear Wrench lights. Great tool for the money. Good quality stuff that has a lifetime warranty on the hand tools, and a good warranty on their lights and stuff also. But and a big thanks to Curry on this. They make great products. I mean, Rock Jock by John Curry. Thank you.